Well, let's return to our main story now, and US President Joe Biden's visit to Ireland. He's touched down in the Republic of Ireland. He's in Dublin. And let's talk to Mitchell Reiss, who's a former US Special Envoy for Northern Ireland during the George W. Bush administration. Thanks ever so much for coming on the programme. Now that this is a closely watched visit to the Republic of Ireland, Biden's ancestral home, what should we be watching out for?
Well, I think the strong bonds between the United States and Ireland. There's an estimated 40 million Irish Americans, people who claim Irish ancestry. So there's a strong bond between the two countries. I think the president also wants to associate himself with a significant diplomatic accomplishment, the Good Friday Agreement. From 25 years ago, it's the anniversary, and it's immeasurably improved the life in Northern Ireland. And I think third is that we're in the presidential campaign cycle already. And so I think the president wants to showcase his strong bonds to Ireland. And so it has a domestic political component as well.
I want to talk about that domestic component in a moment. But when he was in Belfast over tea, Joe Biden and UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak reflected on the legacy of the Good Friday Agreement. What do you think that legacy really is?
Well, I think one of the legacies is the example that it shows of the United States supporting its friends and allies around the world. The United States played a crucial role in helping the parties reach an agreement that ended the Troubles and stood up the Stormont Assembly. So I think that's one of the legacies. The other legacy, I think, is the ongoing American commitment to the UK and to the people of Ireland to support peace however we can.
And let's talk about the restoration of the devolved government. I mean, Biden made a very carefully worded plea, didn't he, to resume power sharing at Stormont. The DUP said the visit doesn't actually change the political dynamic. Do you think it's going to make a difference, does it?
Well, the DUP is right. Just a visit for a day by the president doesn't change the underlying dynamic. But there is a greater imperative to get some type of agreement between the two parties so that Stormont can be stood up again. The United States is giving the opportunity to all the people of Northern Ireland for much greater economic investment. So good jobs, good wages. This is something that Northern Ireland desperately needs. And again, it's going to be very difficult for corporate America to make that investment unless there's a functioning government up and running in Belfast.
He talked about Northern Ireland as being a transformed place. You spent time there as a special envoy. What transformations did you see?
Oh, I think it's clear for anybody who remembers the horrors of the Troubles. The place, Belfast is now a modern European city in many ways. So I think that the reduction, significant reduction in the level of violence, I think, is probably one of the greatest legacies. But that said, there's still some work to be done. There's still paramilitaries on both sides of the divide. There's socioeconomic deprivation. And there needs to be much more integration of Catholics and Protestants in everyday life in Northern Ireland. So that's some of the work that many people are doing, but still there's more that needs to be done.
Mitchell Reiss, thank you very much.
Pleasure.